Next, here on Friday Live, the husband and wife Brickhouse duo. We'll hear them playing a serenata with the prelude from Bach's Suite Number 1 in G major. Titled Serenata, that is part of the prelude from the Suite Number 1 in G major by Johann Sebastian Bach. This is a selection from the Bach-Wilson project, Descants for violin, to be paired with those preludes from the solo cello suites by Johann Sebastian Bach. Thanks to our own Peter Wilson, who is joining us here in a moment. That was the Brickhouse duo playing live here at the Mill Coffee and Tea in downtown Lincoln. I'm going to chat with them about their performance coming up in Beatrice this weekend. We'll also get to hear them play again. And we will hear a poem yet to come here also from Nebraska State poet Jewel Rogers, anticipating that 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence, which I think is going to go really great with the next piece that you're going to play as well. Right now, here they are, Peter Wilson and cellist Jennifer Kletzel, who formed their duo in 2017. Now, before that, a little background. Peter spent 30 years as a Marine violinist, performing in support of 5 U.S. presidents. He currently serves as music director of the Richmond Philharmonic and the American Prize-winning Waynesboro Symphony Orchestra in Virginia, as well as the artistic director and conductor of the American Festival Pops Orchestra. I don't know how you fit all that in your schedule, Peter, but that's great. Jennifer here is a Juilliard graduate, Fulbright scholar, and a founding member of the Cypress String Quartet, who has traveled the globe performing at places like the Kennedy Center, the Chautauqua Institute, and the Ravinia Festival in Chicago. I could go on, but I won't. They are in Nebraska this week as guest artists with the Beatrice Regional Orchestra coming up this Sunday. That's 2 p.m. at the Hevelone Center for Performing Arts. Welcome to Friday Live.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Good morning.
Great to hear you. Just beautiful. Tell us how you met and how this all got started.
Should I take that one?
You should take that one.
Okay, I'll take that one. Well, we actually met when we were 17, back in a national high school honors orchestra that took place in Anaheim, California. I had a big crush on her at the time. She says, no, you didn't. But I did. And then we reconnected several years later in Washington, actually, when she was on a radio tour with Cypress Quartet. We it'd been a while, and let's get together for lunch. And the next thing you knew, we were collaborating as soloist and conductor. So I was having her come and solo with various orchestras that I have, and I was just absolutely love her playing, and we did all sorts of concertos, Dvorak, Elgar, Shostakovich, and the like. And soon we just the relationship developed, and we thought maybe we should start playing together a little bit. So we did, and that's kind of where the Brick House duo came about. So.
Very cool. I love this. Reconnected after all those years. Well, when you've got an ensemble that's just violin and cello, we heard a flute choir earlier. You'll be with an orchestra this weekend. It's a wide range. How do you fill the space when it's a duo? I mean, part of it might be you talking, Peter, about those descants you wrote to go with the solo cello suites.
Why don't you do that?
Sure. I mean, there's actually not a whole lot of repertoire for violin and cello with orchestra, so we had to be a little creative. There's the very famous Brahms double, so we're doing one movement from that. And then, I started arranging various things because they have a unique set of instruments in the Beatrice Regional Orchestra, and so I did some arranging through that. But, that's kind of what started that idea of putting these together, when we were invited to solo there.
It's true. And because Peter has had such an experience playing all kinds of music, what's amazing is he's kind of drawn me out. I'm just a super classical music nerd, have been for a long time. I just love the cello. It's all I want to do is play the cello all the time. But he has pulled me into different directions of, trying a little jazz or trying a little pop music or whatever as we play the duo, because he'll arrange all kinds of things for us. And the piece that you just heard was a wedding present that he wrote for us. He had been hearing me play Bach so much because I just have all kinds of Bach projects in place. And we were separated during the pandemic, and he asked me to record my part of the Bach prelude, and then he sent it back to me with this part, the descant, written over top of it. So
that is so sweet. What a wedding gift.
Well, and it was inspired partly by the pandemic itself. We were told in the Marine Band, if you can create content at home and send it in, that would be great. And so I sat down and did the piano part, the Bach C major prelude. I played that, and then over top of it, I did the Gounod descant, the very famous Ave Maria. And, I started thinking about it because, as she said, she was always playing Bach when we were together. And I thought, my goodness, that G major prelude is very similar to the C major prelude in that it's an arpeggiated chord progression. And I thought, I wonder if a melody would fit on top of that. And immediately when I thought of that, I said, well, somebody clearly has thought of this. I mean, this music has been around forever. So I did a deep dive on the internet, couldn't find a thing. So I said, here's my project, and I did it. And then as soon as she heard it, she seemed to like it. And then she said, well, now you have to do the other 5 preludes.
Right, because Bach wrote 6 pieces, 6 suites for cello.
There was my pandemic project for the next year.
Perfect. Yeah. Perfectly just fit into place. Listeners might be wondering, okay, you guys are world-class musicians here. You've played at the White House, Peter. You've played all over doing solo work, chamber work. What brings you to Nebraska? What brought you to Nebraska? What brings you back?
So actually, surprisingly enough, we own a home in Auburn, Nebraska, a historic home. And we actually take our name from that. It's a beautiful brick Italianate home. So the Brick House duo, came from that. And actually, we purchased it in 2017, which is when the duo formed. So that's how you see how that all connects.
I think we first played together in that house. That was part of the connection there too. Yeah.
So it's so we come as often as we can. I sit on 2 arts boards in southeast Nebraska, and we just love it. So we live in California, but and when I called to hook up the heat or whatever in the house, they were like, "Oh, you're the California lady." I'm like, yes, that's me.
The California lady that has a vacation home in Nebraska. That's what they said.
Hey, the rolling hills of southeast Nebraska. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
You're near the Barretta Hills down there. Poetry has been written about these hills, so I get it.
But she was brought in twice, one with the string quartet, and then again as a solo artist with a pianist on the Brownville concert series.
And that's where
and that
I
was
started.
The connection there. And now we serve on that board, so we're excited. Yeah.
Well, we appreciate your work in the arts for sure. What's on the docket for this concert?
So actually, it's kind of an amazing show for us. I've never done anything like this before. We are performing 8 different pieces. Well, I am performing 8 different pieces with the orchestra, which is a lot. Usually if I come out, I'll do 1 concerto, but it's a real smorgasbord and something for everyone. So we've got things like Peter's doing the Vivaldi Spring from the Four Seasons Violin Concerto, which I'll play continuo for. We've got some John Williams, the theme from Schindler's List, which he arranged for the two of us with orchestra. A movement of Brahms' double concerto, of course, and then the Fauré Elegy for cello and orchestra. And I'm doing a David Popper Hungarian Rhapsody, which is a virtuosic piece for cello and orchestra. And
Tour de force.
it is a tour de force. And then because he needs a turn at that too, he's doing the Souvenir. What is it?
D'Amérique, an American souvenir by Henri Vieuxtemps, a Belgian composer. He did a set of variations on Yankee Doodle, so it's very appropriate for this 250th anniversary year that we're celebrating.
Like I said, it's a little bit of something for everyone. I'm sure I've left something off there, but come on
The
out.
encore.
Oh, yeah, right. We're not
Yes,
supposed
the
to talk
encore.
about
Quiet.
that.
There's,
Really?
yeah, surprise encore.
Surprise.
Well, it sounds wonderful, and I'm sure audiences will be just overjoyed to hear you. This is Friday Live, coming to you from the Mill in Lincoln's historic Haymarket District. And we round out our show here with more live music after that poem. The Brick House Duo is back here with violinist Peter Wilson and cellist Jennifer Kletzel, playing a piece called An Appalachian Prayer. You might recognize combinations of melodies in this. A melody by Jay Unger called Ashokan Farewell, famously heard in Ken Burns' Civil War documentary, and a couple of traditional melodies. We'll hear Simple Gifts as well as Amazing Grace. It's arranged by Aaron Clay and adapted by Peter Wilson. Again, here is the Brick House Duo here on Friday Live on Nebraska Public Media. Beautiful. Beautiful violin and cello music here this morning. We heard Peter Wilson and Jennifer Klutzel. They are also performing with the Beatrice Regional Orchestra coming up on Sunday at 2 p.m. at the Havilone Center for Performing Arts there in Beatrice. They're also going to be playing a little bit more.